All right, so we're on, and there seems to be not much of a way around it. Apparently, we have to, on if we have a live stream, things definitely flow a lot better. So guess what? Here you are. Let's do it. There's not much of a plan, or I'm trying to come up with a proper plan. There's a lot of routes to be followed, and turns out that this is a quite extensive project with many different systems, and we are finding out a bunch of stuff along the way. Let's see if I can stop this crazy shaking here. Come on. Let's see if it gets better. Yep. So yeah, turn on some lights here. Getting started. Scratch up. And yep, do it. All right, so we're back into the Joaquin Phoenix model, and yeah, Elias, I'm gonna speak in English just for the sake of the comprehension of everyone. Oh, welcome, man. Apparently the connection with YouTube. So you're streaming live on YouTube and on Facebook simultaneously, and yeah, this is just a way of trying to keep the focus. This week has been over my head completely. A lot of stuff going on, basically in survival mode at this point. And yeah, but I guess that's the reality for most of the people around the world at this moment. So I'm happy everything's fine with me and my family. Hope everybody's fine as well. And yeah, so feel free to drop any questions, Elias, if you have any particular questions about whatever's going on, and it's the time. I'm just adjusting the maps here. I've added the maps from Chinkayang. So as usual, I would like to give a shout out to my friend Chinkayang. I'm gonna drop his, let me get the ArtStation going on here. By request, I've previously we were streaming in 180p. Seen it, I didn't really know what was the size it was being streamed, but that turns out that 180p you can see very little of the details of what we were doing. So now we are streaming in almost 2K, I guess. So Chinkayang, this is the guy, this is the project, our beautiful model of Joaquin Phoenix, thanks to this amazing artist. Thank you, Chinkayang. Let me drop here the link to his ArtStation, and if you have if you don't have much to do, please check it out. If you have something to do, maybe some other time, come back and check it out. It deserves it. So right now what we have is this little guy here going on. Which of these different systems have been built? I'm checking like the movement of the mouth, and yeah, so you know it's a very big challenge to make this look natural and to put together all the systems. I'm going to try to do another system here, and also check I will be evaluating some plan to attack this project right now. So it may not be very dynamic today. in one hand, I'll be definitely working on the project, but I will also keep an eye on the future to try to figure out what to do next. So let me check if we have everything going on fine. Gonna check the stream to see if it's working. Yeah, nice, some people around. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free, drop them in, and let's keep going. So right now we have this. Oh yeah, I forgot what I was going to. So I finally have objective for this project, which I would like to share with you guys. Let me pause this for a second. So this is what I've been looking for now. I'm looking for a scene where we can have basically have something to replicate out of this character. And although this is like I don't even know how much time it's gonna take to get there, but it's just an amazing scene, man. This thing is just this movie. Of course, you got an Oscar out of this, so you know, what can I say? Let me try to get it here, so it would be around here, I guess. So very specifically, let me see. I think I'd like to start from this point.
Pity, Arthur. You sound like you're making excuses for killing those young men. Not everybody, and I'll tell you this, not everyone is awful.
You're awful.
Me? I'm awful? Oh yeah, how am I awful?
Playing my video. Inviting me on the show. You just wanted to make fun of me.
You're just like the rest of them.
You don't know the first thing about me, pal. Look what happened because of what you did, what it led to. There were riots out there. 2 policemen are in critical condition. You're laughing. You're laughing. Someone was killed today because of what you did.
I know. How about another joke, Murray?
No, I think we've had.
Yeah, so I think that for the I don't even know. Facebook's probably gonna block my stream just because of the fact that I'm showing this or something like that. But yeah, this is it. It's pretty short. I like to replicate just for a initial presentation. Try to replicate this short scene.
For killing those young
So
men.
let's
Not everybody, and I'll tell you this, not everyone.
so let's talk about it.
Me? I'm
Hold
awful.
on. Yeah, so you can see here that what I'd like to do is try to replicate
Not
this.
everybody, and I'll tell you this, not everyone is awful.
You're awful.
Yeah, so you can see that it's a very emotional moment, and there's a lot of details here. Although on movement level, it's not that much of a broad movement. It's a very not that loud. He's not speaking loudly. So there's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of different, like we can see.
Not everyone is awful.
You're awful.
You see the shaking. So there's all the phonemes and phonemes. So you're awful. So
Me?
Marie.
I'm awful? Oh yeah, how am I awful?
Playing my video.
So you can see the cheek blows here.
Playing my video.
Playing my video. So yeah, the chin, and it also just shows how much of a daunting thing it is to try to get this across. So yeah, this is the scene. It's just I'd like to do just like play my
Inviting me on the show.
inviting me in this show. So it's like you have the Pooker, you have most of the.
You just wanted to make fun of me.
So I think that this is, although it's obviously hard, it might be achievable because it's not that crazy, but it's also a beautiful statement, in the sense of it's well done. You have the perfect reference here. Also have the audio to work with it, and yeah, there's something I can try to achieve, that would be what I'll be aiming for at this moment. So right now the model is technically ready for that, but also there's a bunch of challenges in the control sense. So far I've been kind of sketching out the system and trying to get it working, and it is kind of in a good position where we have control over all, like most of the muscle systems, and do have some flexibility, and the muscles are representing real stuff. There's still some muscles that are not represented, such as the iliac mazi part of the nose and the cheek puff as well, that needs to be put in place. But some of these parts here are already working, but when you start to see the face and movement, you really get that like there's a lot of stuff going on, and like it really moves most of the face. So it is hard. I will probably have to figure out additional systems in order to replicate like this portion here in particular, which we need more movement for. But yeah, so that's it. So I hope you guys enjoy this segment and the choices of speech that we have chosen to pursue here. All right, so let's move on. All right, so this is the plan. Now the objective is written down, and it is to create of this portion of the Joker with the functionality like of the mouth in particular, because I have the other systems like the eye and stuff, but also they also need improvements, but we need to get this mouth to so create control attributes, the muscle that I was talking about, the like portion of the, this is certainly a thing that needs to be done before anything else. We do need to add the jaw control. This guy's here. And lip roll. This one is actually done. So here I'm just using like the script editor to help me plan the steps. As I said, it becomes as it starts to scale, like the amount of stuff that you need to do on the project, it starts to get like, you know, if you don't have at least for me, I always will speak for myself, it gets very hard for you to keep track of the stuff that you need to do. So the stuff that we definitely need to do in order to achieve this lip sync are, you know, the muscles, and we do have to have like all of the pieces of the system in place in order to achieve all the range of movements that he's. Then there's stuff, so the sticky lips, for example, it's something that is a plus. I'd say it is important, it would look awesome, and actually it's the thing that would bring it to life, but it's just like in terms of, you know, is it going to break the project? No. But if I don't have a specific muscle, I may not be able to achieve a pose or whatever, and that's something that can break the project, right? Also considering as well, like what happens to animate it if we need to like these controls are obviously not proper at this moment. They're just like a, you know, a basic version of the, just for me to test the functionality. They're all over the place. This is not, you know, this is not usable pipeline or something like that. So, you know, we need more here. Yeah, so we I wouldn't say more. I was checking some part of the weighting here. But yeah, right now we have other stuff like the turn off the systems. So now we have this lip roll going on. And I believe it's starting to look proper. The lower lip roll is definitely need improvements. And then the free deforming system. This will help a lot. Because some of the poses or muscles are not always proper position. We'll see, we have this pose here, but then, you know, it could look better. Then I can just adjust it. So it's gonna match, at least, you know, we can give it a different shape. I'm constantly checking if we are really being able to adjust the stuff that we need to have adjustable. So the distancing from the teeth is appropriate, I would say. Maybe the weighting of the internal part of the mouth could be a little better. But yeah, let's get back here into a sort of a plan. We keep this smaller portion here. Might even just close all the stuff for now. Important. The actual plan. All right, so again, this is a live development. Have part of the plan. So let's define what we're going to attack right now. I always have my little mirror in place here so that I can check, like, so this is the like Nazi, right? So this is the levator labii. I like Nazi. This is the lip portion, and this is the yeah. Just trying to figure out like how much each one is. It's this. So let's talk about it with the anatomy book in place. Let me get the Wattpad open. an old power book from Uda Zarim. The anatomy of facial expressions, so that we can have an idea of what specifically we're talking about. So this is the levator labiali gnasi, right? And it has this nasal portion here. So levator labiali gnasi stands for like the riser of the lip and the nose. I would assume so. It's similar to Portuguese in the Latin, but I'm not a Latin speaker. I'm just assuming that. Then it works in conjunction with the depressor supercilii, I'd say. Yeah, depressor supercilii. And then it creates this, you know, the wrinkling of the nose and the eyebrow. So this is mostly the last piece of geo that we need to have added here. I'm trying to kind of organize it, but still it's hard to keep everything on this process of development. Key these guys here. Then I think that the realism will also come from having the keys kind of offset it. Oh. Okay. Yeah, so you can see this like dashing of the corner of the mouth there. This is something that seems a little unrealistic to me, but also it's just like an animation issue, I would say. Like the fact that all the muscles are being pulled at the same time. I'm not an animator, but I can see how that is definitely. I would assume that on the process of opening the mouth like that, or even changing expressions, you would be like activating the muscles not at all at once, or like moving first one and then like, you know, and there's all this like micro expressions thing. There's also the tongue rig here. So yeah, let's move. Keep moving. It's not gonna move by itself. Right, so again, I'm kind of have only some of the information exposed here to me. If any questions are on the line here, okay, so right, so here I'm just gonna create some locators to be able to figure out the insertions of the it would be actually interesting to have the muscle system on at this point so that I can observe it. They have like the same insertion point, so I'll just use the same here. That'll be fine. So the trick here, or as you can see, I'm figuring out this stuff. So the trick is always to observe reality and, you know, try to replicate what we see in reality, not necessarily what someone's telling. So you can figure out your own way of figuring out coming up with this system if you have the understanding of how this system is moving. And actually at this point, I guess there's so many questions that, you know, the more people we have looking for this problem, and I hope, like, I'm putting myself on the line here by sharing knowledge, and, you know, this is my job, this is something that I do for a living, so I'm putting myself on the exposing knowledge here, and the more people do it, the more we can get this problem solved faster, you know? Okay, so I'm not gonna go nuts on it. That's mostly it. As I can see, it goes in front of that guy and gets it into. You can see it here. That's pretty good. So the difference between the I like Nazi part of the so this is the portion that the thing that we're trying to do here. So you can see that the I like Nazi gets in, or the Lavator lobby picks up into the lip, and then this part here gets into the nose. Though when you lift your lips, it's inevitable that the skin is going to push up the nose anyways, so you always have a little bit of the nose of the Lavator lobby affecting the, but in this case here I can see that it could be compressing more here, right? We're not getting that much of a feeling of a compression. It definitely pushes it aside a lot. In my example here, it is definitely pushing it, like it could be pushing it into that direction a little, that's for sure. Almost like this guy here, like this guy, and stretching the frontal portion of the But anyways, let's make progress one step after the other. There's not much I can do. Right now, because eventually, as I said, the system will be fully automated, but right now, not the point. Right now, what I need to do is to have it to come up with a solution first. So I create this curve here, and then this is what I have, one of the tools that I have built that is helping me a lot here. So let's rebuild this curve into a tree. So now we get this number of CVs on it. So I hope you're familiar with the concept of CVs. That's what it does, right? And then I'm gonna open my FlexiLoft so yeah. What it does is, according to the number of CVs on this curve, it's going to create this like a spline system. This way, all I need to do is like select the curve and run it. And it has a few other functionalities as well, but for now that's what I'm using it on. I do need to add an option to control the radius of the points right away. That'll make my life a lot easier. But again, you can see that the system is then already in place. That's the cluster that we expect. And then I'm just going to duplicate this curve and put it onto the other side. You can see again, this is very sketchy stuff. You know, don't even judge it by organization. I could try to be organized right now, but I would just lose time. You know, organization is good on the code side, in my opinion. Once you're scripting stuff, have to be organized. Show stuff in the right place, but then also it's the then it's aiming towards actually having a auto rigger in place. So I'm going to run the same. That's the loft. I'm going to do the right side, so I'm going to do the vector. Again. So the script also, so you can see this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about like organizing on the script. Because when you script stuff, you can see here on the corner that the script splits everything already organized, like the clusters and you know, the curves that were created, like everything on its proper place. But when you're doing this, like when you're doing this manual testing, it's just impossible to keep up with organizing everything because you don't know what's going to be. Put this down here so they can check some stuff. Yeah, and also we need a control for the jaw here, which is in the next steps. I might have it on the rotating side, or I might have it. What I'm feeling like is that we're gonna go on the, you know, like a circle here, so that circle. Feeling like it's going to be something like this. Or instead of rotating, you will be moving up and down, left and right. But also something interesting to notice is how Joaquin Phoenix. Let's see if we can check this one. I'll even turn off the voice here. So you can see how much of frontal movement we're getting as well. Like he pulls his jaw a lot like this. I don't know if you can see it on my video camera. So turns out that that's very important as well. So something that I not usually see on rigs. So this thing of like pushing the jaw forward. So yeah, the surfaces here, there are 2 new chains are there already. That now should be easy. You will get these 2 guys, get our root joint, and this is again, it's stressed, isn't it? It's all over the place. Gotta figure out stuff. As usual, using NG skin tools for this job. So I would assume that we would get just this portion here. Let's see how it's gonna look on the actual rig. Let's say it would be more just on the area. So yeah, we have no controls for this there now. I'll also add the blend shape, which I assume blend shape 9. Influence and test. Oh, surprisingly not that bad out of the box like this. A lot of flickering. Fine. These are close. But the surface is being heavily deformed. See there. Yeah, here. I'm flipping there. Fine. And that. Here we have an even uglier thing going on. I don't know what we need right now. This should get kind of rid of the flickering there. Yeah, so that's it, one step at a time. So let's see, maybe that's it for kind of feel like this is gonna work. That's really the behavior we're looking for here. Although the problem now becomes the weighting of surface, obviously with more larger part of it affecting the upper part here. And maybe that's what we're going to be working on right now. So then you know that this is affecting the proper thing. So now I am going to get the op module here. Usually what's going on is like I forget to save and then lose a lot of work. So you know, it's a lesson you should be learning from day freaking one. Save your damn work. Because Maya, if you're working with Maya, Blender, I don't know about Blender, but man, Maya. Save, let me check my little box here in Maya. Alright, so it's saved. Can move forward. With my mind in peace. Let's try to weight this thing. So even understanding like how this thing should be weighted as being a challenge in this project, like see now, but you can already see like it kind of looks a little natural. That's good. Not bad, right? So in the 40 here, you can see that this is a kind of a rage pose here. So if we add a bit of the Nazi portion, you see that this is gonna pop a lot more. Yeah. So that's a good difference between a smile and a rage thing. So that you can see like see how this is interesting. Like it's interesting to note this because the fact that the Nazi part of the like Nazi is activated turns it a lot more into a little like a bit like a rage, you know, a more evil smile, where if we zero this out, you get a true friendly smile. So that's something interesting. Yeah, so it's definitely something that I have to think about more and more, and also the Alec Nazi works in conjunction with the Presser Supercilly here, and this other friend here on the front, which is the 3, which is the 3 here, the Procerus. So what does the Procerus does? It probably just pulls the head or the brows, pull it down, where this two here do it side by side individual. So after that, of course, you're still gonna have like probably blend shapes to add wrinkles and stuff, but the combination of all those blend shapes, it's interesting to see how they create this complex movement where you have a bunch of stuff pulling in different directions. And we gotta keep adjusting it. Hey Elias, let me see if so Elias Issa, friend of mine, is asking here just to make sure if I understood. Is this mesh controlling another one by blend shapes, and the other one is controlling the deformation of the joints? I don't know if I understand the question, Elias, but yeah, we have a bunch of we have that system that is being controlled by these joints, and then this system's controlling the mesh for sure. That's how it's working. Considering that it is, well, yeah, that's basically it. We have these joints are not directly controlling the mesh, if that's what you're asking. These ones are controlling underlying mesh that then is controlling this one. But yeah, let me know if it answers. If you need me to be more specific, I'll gladly do so. And these are the meshes that we are duplicating here underneath, right? Yeah, so I'll likely be going away for today in a bit. I have rest a little bit, and tomorrow I'll be earlier on working on this thing and trying to get it across. I need to have it demoed out tomorrow. at least to the extent that we have it right. So these things here are the UDIMs that the viewport, when you go away like this, it kind of shows it. So I'll do, well, yeah, and thanks for participating, Elias. Really nice to have you around, man. I'm feeling less lonely here, but knowing that someone is actually checking out some of this stuff. Right, so this is another system. We have a bunch of them already. So I'm just gonna place this inside of the muscle group there. These two guys here are part of these guys. You can see here all of them working together in order to create this movement. And now we can even go as far as begins to give it a little more drama. Yeah, definitely the drama is on the details. It's gonna be quite a journey. But yeah, again, as I say, thank you, man. Thank you. Well, yes, we're gonna talk soon, man, about these techniques. As I said, like, it's something that I'm trying to figure out myself. It's kind of hard to even explain because, you know, I don't even know if this is gonna be useful. Hey, someone from Colombia, man, awesome. Such a pleasure. Hello, Model Free. How do you say it? Pretty cool. Very happy with your participation as well, man. Thank you for stopping by. This is still far away from where we need to be, but yeah, starting to get some results, I guess. But you can see, on the other hand, that on the organization side here, I'm even gonna take myself into the place here. This thing here, this is completely disorganized, but it's gonna be better soon. Once you start to organize this thing or to script this thing, I hope it's gonna be looking better. But right now it's just sketching out this and really figuring out if it works or if it doesn't. Yeah, so this is the first stream that I have for this system. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Model Free CG saying that he just saw this stream, this live stream, and he's congratulating for the project. Thank you so much, man. So much. On this crazy times that we're living in, it's you know, honestly, it's just trying to survive, create stuff to maintain myself sane. Every day is being a challenge lately, man. I can tell you that. Yeah, I hope you guys are doing good in Colombia as well. I don't know how's the Corona thing going on. You're having, you know, everything under control. I hope your people from Colombia are doing well. Here in British Columbia, fortunately or not, I don't know how it's gonna be the next few weeks, but apparently they're trying to reopen the country, or at least BC, which is the province, because there's very little cases here, and yeah, man, the market has simply stopped. The you know, you wouldn't believe what happened to the VFX industry, man. It's just was blown away by this Corona thing. It's a shame because it's a, you know, an amazing industry with great professionals from all over the world. People come here from everywhere, basically. Elias, the guy that was asking some questions here, he's from Brazil. He's here betting his dreams and his savings on getting something, you know, doing, I suppose, something that he loves. I cannot speak for him, but I'm sure he admires this industry as well. And all of a sudden you get this gigantic crash on the market. So the good thing though is that, like, from everywhere else, Vancouver seems to be very little affected. So I hope that this keeps the industry going. But also I hope that the whole world, you know, gets their shit together soon. We need to do it, man. Not stop. We gotta feed our families, and of course, we gotta take care of health, and, you know, need to be safe for sure. But yeah, let's hope that, anyways, in a safe way, that we can proceed into opening this economy sometime soon. Please. But stay safe. On the other hand, stay safe.
I invite you now to peer into our city's future as we explore Miami Beach today.
Hey, so hey, Model Free. All the this is a systemic approach to a facts-based facial rig. So this is a good thing that you're saying, because I think it's a question for many people. What actually is a facial rig, a facts-based facial rig? So in my limited view of what FACS is, FACS stands for Facial Action Coding System. And the thing is, before the study of FACS, we believe that we have the face, it's basically like the subjective thing, and that emotions are subjective, or meaning that there's not a one single way to achieve a specific emotions. Where FACS came, I think, I forgot the name, it's Eric, I forgot the name of the guy who first came up with the FACS thing, FACS theory, but he basically got to the conclusion that if you push that every expression has a specific set of muscles that is being activated. So this is what this book here is also talking about on the emotion side here. So you can see that, for example, for the funneler, or you have full emotions as well. But let's say, let's get there. Yeah, so so here, for example, a smile, or
Miami Beach today.
so you have like a contained smile and a full-blown smile. So in the case of in this case here, so you can see that the action units, so the AU that are being activated, and this is what it's about, right? So then when you say a facts-based facial rig, in my view, it is based on having the representation of each and every muscle, so that you can activate that specific set of muscles. Where a blend shape based rig, what it's doing is capturing this specific muscles being activated. So when you're going to do a capture for a facts based facial rig, you're going to make the model do the specific muscles or the action units. So you do like a set of muscles, and then afterwards you're going to be able to extract this, like separate. Okay, so this is one muscle, you're going to paint out this influences, so that's more or less it. I hope it answers. I don't know if it's 100% clear. But yeah, if the question, if this is a facts-based facial rig, I would say yes, but I would be open to hear if someone has something against this view that I'm proposing. I'm pretty sure, like, at least on the theoretical side, I know that it's Paul Ekman. You can search for books from Paul Ekman, and this is what I got from his studies. That's the theory. So yeah, again, this would be a facts based, but it is facts based on another way. It's like it's actually representing the muscles, each muscle being activated, as you can see here, in order to achieve each of the expressions. We have all this dance of the muscles to activate and to create it. So in theory, after it's done, we would be able to then get the same action units here. So say, you can see here. So for example, the action units 20. So lip stretcher. Right? Yeah, so this is what we call, I think that this is the best way to view it. This is what the facts-based thing is telling you. But the action unit 20 is the lip stretcher, so it has this particular name here, the lip stretcher. And then you have the muscles that are being activated. So they're the risorius and the platysma. They're these two guys. There's the risorius here and the platysma. But you can activate them separately. Like you can do it like this. And not really show the platysma, but you can also activate the platysma here as it's showing. So yeah, but then you could also just capture someone doing this pose here, and on the rig separate, like just paint off this part here, the platysma, and have just this part. So this would depends on the amount of blend shapes you're able to extract from an actor. But things are changing so fast, man. Things are changing so fast. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So Mauro Free is saying normally. Let me see if I can turn on the comments here. I think I can, without being annoying. Can we see though? What's going on here? Yeah, so the top one is the one that hey Elias, let me just ask so for more free. Yeah, I'd say so. I think that the best thing is to have a mixed one. I would agree with that, because later on either I'm gonna have to simulate the cheeks and other stuff, or I'm going to I'm gonna have blend shapes for you know, the fat pads and stuff like that. I don't see. I would probably have to go with Ziva in order to not use blend shapes. So we will see about that. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. For Elias, I likely will. I'm not sure how it's gonna be. I have to kind of good to focus a little bit as well, but I'll probably work a little bit into getting stuff across, and then I might come in and do a little stream. But yeah, I think that's it for today. Thank you too, guys, for and anyone else that have been on the stream. If I am saying something that it's out of context, or if I'm not correct, please let me know. I'm also here trying to learn stuff, so I'm working here basically to try to figure stuff out. So if you have a different vision, or you think you could add something, please let me know. And I might also open up a Discord so that people can actually come in and speak during the live, so that we can talk about the stuff that we're looking here. Mauro Free is saying you give the rig, give to the community the rig after it's done. Well, this rig here is the model is not mine. I would have to discuss it with Kai Yang, which is the guy that provided the model. I'm not sure. I gotta be honest. I'm not sure. This is a project that has professional value. I might do something like a Patreon or something like that, you know. Or, anyways, I definitely wanted to add value to the community and stuff like that, and you know, keep this area here moving forward and sharing, you know. So yeah, might be, I don't know, maybe let's see how it's gonna turn out. But it's nice to see that there is interest. Thank you so much for making this question. Motor free. All right, so I'm kind of out of focus here already. I'm not really developing, kind of answering questions. So I will drop out for today because I want to rest and get back in tomorrow with full power. So again, Elias and Motor Free, thank you so much for participating. Great to feel that you are working with some other fellow, some folks from the industry as well. And yeah, chill, peace, stay safe, and let's hope that things get back to normal right now, or as soon as possible. Right, guys? Thank you, and bye-bye.